Listen to me. Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt that sinking feeling, that quiet whisper in the back of your mind telling you something's missing? Or maybe you've had those days where everything seems to be going right, but you still feel unfulfilled. You're not alone. In fact, I'm willing to bet that at some point, everyone, no matter how successful or accomplished, has wondered, why am I not as happy as I could be? What's the secret to happiness? You see, happiness isn't some elusive, mystical force that only a lucky few get to experience. It's not about having more money, more success, or even more stuff. We've all been sold this idea that happiness is just around the corner if we just work harder, achieve more, or get the right things in life. But what if I told you that happiness doesn't depend on those things at all? In fact, what if the key to being happier is not about chasing external rewards, but about shifting the way you think, the way you approach life, and the way you engage with the world around you? Let me share a quote that has always stuck with me. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Dalai Lama. Now, I don't know about you, but those words hit me in a powerful way. Because when you stop and think about it, happiness really is something you create for yourself. It doesn't just fall into your lap. It's not a destination, but a journey. A journey that requires self-awareness, effort, and, most importantly, a willingness to change. Now, I'm Dr. Theodore Whitmore, and today I want to take you on a transformative journey, one that could completely change how you experience happiness. We're going to explore the very real, actionable steps you can take to feel happier, more fulfilled, and more at peace with your life. It's not going to be some fluffy, abstract concept. No, we're going to talk about research-backed strategies and practical advice, grounded in positive psychology and human behavior science, that will help you reshape your mindset and make lasting changes. So whether you're struggling with stress, battling negativity, or simply feeling like there's something missing in your life, stick around, because what you're about to learn could change everything for you. You know, we often think that happiness is something that just happens to us. We tell ourselves, if I could just get that promotion, or if I could just lose those last 10 pounds, or even if I could just find my perfect partner, then I'll finally be happy. But here's the thing. I'm sure you've experienced it before. Even after achieving something big, something you thought would bring you joy, that feeling of true happiness doesn't always follow, does it? I know it may sound a bit counterintuitive, but it's the truth. Happiness is not a destination. It's a process. It's something that needs to be cultivated day by day. But don't worry, I'm not just throwing words at you. I'm going to show you exactly how to start making this process a reality in your life. So let me ask you a simple question. How do you start your day? Think about it for a second. Do you wake up feeling rushed, overwhelmed by everything you have to do, or do you take a moment to reflect, to set the tone for the day? How you begin your day can dramatically affect your overall happiness. Research from positive psychology has shown that how we start our mornings can set the entire course of the day. And I'm not talking about waking up at 5 a.m. and jumping straight into a full workout routine, unless that's your thing, of course. I'm talking about the small, intentional actions that you can take to shift your mindset from the moment you wake up. Here's a simple idea that can make a big difference: gratitude. Now, I know you've probably heard it before, and it might sound like a cliche, but hear me out. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you when something good happens. It's about training your brain to notice what's going right in your life, rather than focusing on what's going wrong. The research is clear. Practicing gratitude regularly rewires your brain to focus on the positive. It strengthens your emotional resilience, helps you cope with stress more effectively, and boosts your overall sense of well-being. In fact, one study found that people who kept a gratitude journal for just a few weeks showed significant improvements in their mood, physical health, and overall happiness. But here's the kicker. This doesn't just happen on its own. You have to make it a habit. It's about taking a moment each morning to reflect on what you're grateful for. Maybe it's the warmth of your bed, the love of your family, or the opportunity to chase your dreams today. Whatever it is, take a moment and feel it. Let that gratitude sink in. It's a small shift, but over time, it has the power to completely transform how you experience the world. Another important aspect of happiness is mindset. You've probably heard the term growth mindset before. It's a concept that was developed by psychologist Carol Dweck, and it's become a game changer in the field of personal development. But what exactly is a growth mindset, and why does it matter for your happiness? In simple terms, a growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents can be developed through dedication and hard work. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges, learn from failures, and see effort as a path to mastery. They don't shy away from obstacles. Instead, they view them as opportunities to grow. On the other hand, people with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are set in stone, and they often avoid challenges to protect their self-esteem. So, how does this relate to happiness? Well, the truth is, your mindset shapes how you perceive the world. If you adopt a growth mindset, you'll see life's challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable obstacles. This shift in perspective can reduce feelings of helplessness and frustration, which are often at the root of unhappiness. Take a moment to reflect on your own mindset. When faced with a difficult situation, do you see it as a chance to learn, or do you feel defeated before you even try? If it's the latter, don't worry. You can change it. And it starts by reminding yourself that you have the power to learn, adapt, and grow from every experience, no matter how tough it may seem. But it's not just about shifting your mindset when things get tough. It's also about taking responsibility for your own happiness. And I want to be clear about something here. Happiness is a choice. It's not something that is entirely dependent on your circumstances. Yes, life can throw some really hard stuff your way, pain, loss, disappointment. But your happiness is still within your control. I'm not asking you to deny your struggles or pretend that everything is perfect. Far from it. But I am asking you to recognize that you have a choice in how you respond to life's challenges. You can choose to focus on what's going right, or you can choose to stay stuck in the negativity. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that happiness will come only when everything is perfect. But here's the truth. Happiness comes when you decide to embrace what you have right now and to make the best of it. As I said earlier, happiness isn't something that just happens. It's something that you actively create. And I want to remind you of that as we move forward. Because the next part of this journey is all about learning how to build habits that support your happiness, habits that will allow you to feel more fulfilled every single day. Now that we've talked about the importance of gratitude and mindset, let's dive into something equally powerful: habits. The truth is, happiness isn't just about having a positive outlook or thinking the right thoughts. It's also about what you do on a daily basis. Your habits have the power to shape your mood, your mindset, and ultimately, your happiness. So if you want to be happier, you need to start with the habits that will support that. Here's the thing about habits. They are powerful. They're the small, seemingly insignificant actions that we repeat every day, and over time, they compound to create big changes in our lives. Think about your daily routine. What are the first few things you do when you wake up? What do you do before you go to bed? These small actions, whether positive or negative, are influencing your happiness. Let's start with the basics. If you want to feel happier, one of the first things you need to do is to take care of your body. This might sound simple, but it's often overlooked. You see, when we talk about happiness, it's easy to get caught up in the emotional and psychological side of things, but physical health plays a huge role. After all, your brain and body are deeply connected. When you feel good physically, it's much easier to feel good mentally and emotionally. So what does taking care of your body look like? Well, it starts with movement. Whether it's going for a walk, doing yoga, or hitting the gym, physical activity is essential for boosting your mood and increasing your happiness. When you exercise, your brain releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that help reduce stress, alleviate anxiety, and lift your mood. It's like a natural happiness booster. But here's the key. You don't need to train for a marathon to reap the benefits of exercise. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Even 20 minutes of moderate exercise a day can make a significant difference. The important thing is consistency. So find something you enjoy, something that makes you feel energized, and commit to doing it regularly. Your body and your mind will thank you. Along with movement, another habit that can significantly improve your happiness is sleep. Now, I know you've heard this before, but it's worth repeating. Sleep is essential for your well-being. When you don't get enough sleep, it affects everything from your mood to your ability to concentrate, to how you handle stress. Lack of sleep can even contribute to feelings of anxiety and depression. So, if you want to feel happier, getting enough rest should be a non-negotiable habit in your life. I understand that in today's world, it can be challenging to prioritize sleep. With our busy schedules and constant distractions, it's easy to stay up late scrolling through our phones or working on projects. But here's a little tip that can help. Try creating a nighttime routine that signals to your body that it's time to wind down. Turn off screens an hour before bed, read a book, or try a relaxation technique like deep breathing or meditation. Over time, these small adjustments can improve the quality of your sleep and, in turn, improve your mood and overall happiness. But let's not stop there. Another powerful habit that can transform your happiness is mindfulness. You may have heard this word tossed around a lot lately, and there's a reason for that, because it works. Mindfulness is the practice of staying present and fully engaging with whatever you're doing at the moment. It's about quieting the noise in your head and focusing on the here and now. When you practice mindfulness, you're able to reduce stress, enhance your focus, and experience more joy in the everyday moments of life. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm too busy to practice mindfulness. I don't have time for meditation or deep reflection. But here's the thing. Mindfulness doesn't have to take hours. In fact, it doesn't even have to take 30 minutes. You can practice mindfulness in small moments throughout your day, while drinking your morning coffee, taking a walk, or even while doing dishes. It's all about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. The benefits of mindfulness are well documented. Studies have shown that regular mindfulness practice can improve emotional regulation, reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, and enhance overall well-being. So if you want to boost your happiness, start incorporating small moments of mindfulness into your daily routine. But there's one more habit that I want to talk about: self-compassion. Now, this is one that often gets overlooked, but it's just as important as any of the other habits we've discussed. We live in a world where we're constantly striving for perfection, whether it's in our work, our relationships, or even our appearance. We beat ourselves up for not being good enough, for not achieving more, for not doing things perfectly. And you know what? That's exhausting. Here's the truth. You're only human. You will make mistakes, you will face setbacks, and you will have moments where you don't feel like you're living up to your potential. And that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's part of being human. Self-compassion is about being kind to yourself during those tough moments. It's about treating yourself with the same care and understanding that you would offer a close friend. Instead of criticizing yourself for your failures, practice self-kindness. Recognize that you're doing your best and that it's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and happiness. Incorporating self-compassion into your life will not only help you feel better about yourself, but it will also reduce stress and help you bounce back from setbacks faster. It's an essential habit for building long-term happiness. Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground here, but before we move on, I want to take a moment to remind you, if you're finding this video helpful, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to continue providing valuable content to help you on your journey to personal transformation. So, let's pause for a moment. Here's the most important thing I want you to take away from this entire conversation. You are the architect of your own happiness. You see, happiness isn't a passive experience. It's not something that just falls into your lap when the stars align or when everything is perfect. Happiness is something that you actively create with every thought you think, every action you take, and every choice you make. It's in the small moments, the quiet decisions, and the day-to-day habits that shape your life. And the good news is that no matter where you are right now, you can change your life starting today. You have the power to make small, incremental shifts that will compound over time and lead to a life that feels richer, more fulfilling, and, most importantly, happier. But I know that change isn't always easy. It can be difficult to break old patterns, especially when you've been stuck in certain habits for a long time. You might feel like the odds are stacked against you. Maybe you've tried to change before and it didn't work out. Or perhaps life has handed you challenges that make it feel impossible to be happy. But let me tell you something. You are stronger than you think. You have the inner strength to push through any challenge, to shift your perspective, and to start creating a life that truly reflects the happiness you deserve. But you have to make the decision to take action. Change doesn't just happen on its own. It requires effort, dedication, and sometimes even a bit of courage. So, I want to leave you with this thought. If you want to be happier, it's not about waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect situation, or the perfect person to come into your life. It's about taking control of your mindset, your habits, and your perspective. It's about making the decision today to invest in yourself, because your happiness is worth it. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. It's about progress, not perfection. Celebrate the small wins. Be kind to yourself. And most importantly, be patient with the process. And as you embark on this journey, I want you to keep one thing in mind. Happiness is a choice, but it's also a practice. And with every day, every action, and every thought you choose, you're getting closer to the happiest version of yourself. But before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to remind you, if you found value in today's video, please hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps this channel grow so I can continue to bring you the content that will inspire and empower you to live your best life. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm truly honored to be a part of your journey toward personal transformation. Remember, happiness isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you can create every single day. So go ahead, start today, and let's unlock the happiest version of yourself together.